Hey my loves, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'm gonna be, this cord is bothering me so bad. But on today's video, I'm gonna talk to you guys about the full moon in Libra that recently transited, and this full moon transited last month. So it has been a minute, but I originally recorded this video on live and I saw that the recording was pretty horrid. The audio was bad, sound, which means the sound quality was bad and the visual quality was bad. I guess I didn't have the greatest Wi-Fi connection, so I figured why not make a video that can be evergreen on my channel that is a little better covering the transit. So I'll be reading from my notes since I've already covered this on live already. This video is really just a documentation for anyone who wants to come back to this transit. So now let's hop into it. For the full moon in Libra, here are some of the full moon in Libra themes that we've experienced for the transit. Higher knowing, magnetism, variety, experience, dreams, explosion, practice, attraction, activity, and friction. So the full moon in Libra brought a lot of energy, and the full moon in Libra really had us looking at our partnerships in relationship to our personal identity, and if we were showing up our best and also really operating within our self-expression while being in community and in harmony with others. So since this reading was around the time of Palm Sunday, if you look on my Instagram, because I do an IG post covering the transits and I do graphics that cover all this information, you'll see that they have kind of a Christian flair to them because it was Palm Sunday. We were tapping into the energy of Christ consciousness. So the mantras I have for this full moon in Libra is break every chain, releasing the energy of being a victim, and the ending of the victim mind. And I'll talk a little bit more about this as I go over gate 17 and gate 18 in human design, which were the two gates transiting our conscious sun and conscious earth at the time of this full moon in Libra. So before I hop into that, I did leave an Easter egg for anyone watching the live, which was to check out Indy 711's TikTok, where she covers the full moon in Libra transit, and she covers more of the astrology, and she does it in a very funny way. And I figured if you guys like my content, you'll also like her content, and I love supporting other creators who are fun. So I figured why not have you guys check in with that. So if you're watching this video, at the end of it, if you want more astrological information on the transit that happened at the time, check out her TikTok, and I'll also have it in the information below. So now let's talk about the energy reading. For this full moon, I actually did a card pull from my Herb Crafters Tarot deck, and I love that deck because it teaches you about herbalism, and you can learn a lot about the plants, but in relationship to nature, how the plants are used, and how you can work with them. So I pulled the card Cottonwood, which is representative of the Star card, and it is from the Herb Crafters Tarot, and it's number 17. So here's what it said. It said, your broken pieces contain the stars of hope. And this is why I also use the imagery of the cross and the palm, just because this is all about being risen up or glorified after a fall from grace. So it says, open your heart to grace, be generous with your blessings. A bowl of smooth stones floats in the center of 8 deep gas. There's also a lot of typos in the book, because if I copied the information to share, why is my copy showing grammatical errors? But we're gonna let that go. But deep gas serrated cottonwood leaves arranged in a star pattern. Young twigs full of resinous buds reach out like an old with hands holding the mandala. Sorry, there's lots of typos. 7 cottonwood star coins fall out of the branches and are arranged in the corners of the offering to deep blue water reflects the stars in the sky. Hope can be found in the darkest moments. Have faith and believe in possibility. As the appearance of a cottonwood tree means food is near, so is inspiration close. You may not see it right away, so stay optimistic. Close your eyes and listen for the sound of the rushing river. Cottonwood trunks are marked by scars from harsh weather, yet cottonwood leaves shimmer like golden lights against the sad blue sky. Your wounds may run deep, but wholeness still shines from within. When you encounter grace, be generous with your blessings, the way cottonwood trees are generous with their seeds. And then here are some ways you can work with the plant. It says you can break the cottonwood twigs to discover the stars. Use them in amulets, magic, and altar pieces to give you hope when you need it most. And if you are practicing magic, I highly recommend doing it for yourself and for things that are positive and not trying to alter anyone else's life or, call harm on anybody. I think that's really important to mention because I'm hearing people use spiritual tools to do negative things, and with that it causes a lot of negative consequences, not just for yourself but of others. So very, very mindful of that. What else? You can also use cottonwood over your heart to heal muscle aches, as well as you can rub it on yourself. So with that contemplation, this is just a reminder. You can work with the plant if you want to, but it's just a reminder of being in a space of grace and having hope that things can change for the better and trusting in the process of that. I think oftentimes when situations are going in a way that is not favorable to us, especially at the beginning, we can act rashly, and those rash decisions impact us long term. And we know this is a full moon in Aries, in a Libra I'm talking about, but full moon in Libra will always oppose. It's always in the season of opposition. So for example, the full moon in Libra happened during Aries season. So we always want to think about the impact of the zodiac sign and also the sign the moon is in. So with the full moon being Libra, which is all about partnerships and balance and weighing things out, we have it opposing Aries, the sun in Aries, which is all about individuality and self-expression and activity and movement, and also childlike nature. So this is being able to balance out the aspects of ourselves that need to operate in a level of responsibility or need to be judicious or diplomatic when it comes to our dealings with others, but also still honoring ourselves and what's true to us, which is why I think it's great that it was the star card and the energy of that, because part of being a star is really being able to balance both energies and operate within that. And we see that part of the reason why Jesus's life left such an impact on the earth is because he operated in that way. He served his Father first. He served the Spirit. He served God in the sense of doing what was pleasing to God and in turn pleasing to him, like what was for his soul, but also was able to be of great service to humanity and others. So he took time for aloneness when needed in order to regenerate, get himself back together so that he can serve in the capacity he did. So here's a reminder that when we release our victim mind and this idea that we can't do this and we can't do that, but move into an energy of I can do all things, we can be hopeful and we can trust that God's favor will meet us halfway. So now that we've covered that, let's talk about I'm just going to do it in the order I have it here. Most times I talk about the human design gates first, but let's go into a little self-care. So the self-care for the full moon in Libra is start a new and personal endeavor. Because it's an Aries season, start a new endeavor. Go on an adventure and do something that you might not have thought of yourself to do, but could also be very beneficial to helping others. Next is decline an invitation. We often focus on wanting to be able to say yes, prioritizing saying yes to things and showing up. But here is also a reminder that declining invitations and and standing within your personal power is just as important. Next is add more fruits to your diet. This is pineapple coconut juice, but add more actual fruits in your diet as well. Adding fruits to your diet will really help you help your body function the best. Fruits have enzymes that can break down, because fruits have, like fruits, especially citrus fruits, have enzymes that can really break down things in your body that need to be let go of. And when we do that, we allow ourselves to operate at optimal health. And also, it's the perfect season for it. Like, we're in spring. So spring is a great season with plants are blooming, flowers are blooming, fruits are blooming. So get yourself some strawberries. Strawberries is like a summer fruit, but here, when you live in a warm place, you can get it pretty often. So think of berries and fruits like that that are going to really nourish your body. All right, so now let's talk about human design, gate 17, the gate of opinions. So gate 17 is part of the codon ring of humanity, and that includes gate 10, the gate of being, gate 17, the gate of opinions, gate 21, the gate of control, gate 35, the gate of progress, gate 38. Why is, some name right here. Anyway, gate 38, the gate of opposition, and gate 51, the gate of shock. I thought gate 25 was part of the ring of humanity, so that's why I'm kind of like, But you know what? I'm going to check real quick. I don't want to give you guys the wrong information. Yes, I was correct. So gate 25. In my notes, I wrote gate 35. So let's read that back. So gate 17, the gate of opinions, is part of the codon ring, the ring of humanity. I'm so happy I corrected myself and checked, because sometimes, you be knowing, but your notes don't be knowing. So gate 10, the gate of being, gate 17, the gate of opinions, gate 21, the gate of control, gate 25, the gate of universal love, gate 38, the gate of opposition, and gate 51, the gate of shock. So our humanity is very much rooted in our opinions and our belief systems. And this gate is located in the pituitary gland, so you can think about foods that are related to arginine, which is the amino acid, arginine, which is the amino acid that's connected to this gate. But also this gate is a gate that is of the eye. So let me read what I wrote for gate 17 as it was in our conscious sun during the time of this transit. So the shadow of opinion corresponds to the left hemisphere of the brain, which specializes in pattern recognition. As it seeks and answers, it projects out into the world, continually looking for flaws in the world. Indy, do you want to sit with me as I do this? Thank you, baby. All right. So it says, these flaws become the basis of our belief systems and create human opinions based on interactions from our early childhood, the first 7 years of our life. This month, think about your opinions, if you have them, and how much they may or may not have been influenced by others. If your opinions become dogma, this leads to dis-ease in the physical body and as for the collective. When opinion is used to move the collective forward, this is omniscience and the beginning of the seer. So we have a choice to be stuck in our opinions or have negative opinions, or our opinions can be helping to build a pattern of recognition towards the things that we see coming, which is why the gift of this gate is called farsightedness, and the city frequency is omniscience, the ability to see all and understand all, because you realize that unfortunately all beliefs are valid because all forms of consciousness have to play out. But the beliefs that you choose to hold is what gives you the gift of farsightedness, especially if your belief system is rooted in, as it says here, the logical patterns moving us towards the future. So now let's talk about gate 18. So gate 18 is the gate of judgment, and the root of judgment comes from dissatisfaction, because we see that the gate 18 is really all about improving or coming into improvement. through correction. And when we have the city frequency of gate 18, the city is perfection, is being able to judge, to refine things and improve things to create what is perfect. But the irony of this is it also is the reminder that perfection is already here, and that everything is perfect as it is right now. So it's in order to change the world towards what we want to see, we are really only moving towards more perfection as we continue on, if that makes any sense. So this month, the focus is healing the victim mind. The Bodhisattva is the one who knows suffering, and when given the choice to move away from it, chooses to act courageously on behalf of the betterment of the Maya. And when I say the Maya, I'm referring to the physical world, the material world. Our genes are designed to serve the whole until it reaches perfection. Perfection is forever. The gift of judgment is continual improvement, and this improvement leads to reform at every step on the evolutionary journey. So know that our judgments are a gift to us, especially this month when people are throwing their opinions around, and anytime really. But it's a gift for us, and it's a way that we actually also know what works for us and what doesn't work for us. Your judgment can save your life. If I saw a car coming at me at 80 miles an hour, my judgment would tell me run, right? But if I didn't have that ability to make a correct judgment or assessment, I might not run, and then I'd be dead. So this is why it's important to be able to judge things correctly, because we're all here on our personal journeys and our own experience, and here to have our own experience. So our judgments lead us towards our personal path of discovery. So I'm going to quickly cover some foods that are connected to this amino acid. Alanine, which is connected to gate 18, because as we're moving towards perfection, having the right diet is so important towards being able to operate within our genes in the most optimal and beneficial way. So some foods that are high in alanine, which is the amino acid coded for this gate, is egg, fish, beef, and beans. And because a lot of amino acids is protein structures, you'll notice that a lot of the foods are beans, legumes, things that are really nourishing. So if you're having struggles with your belief systems and your judgments, your discernment, I highly recommend tapping back into your nutrition and making sure that your body is getting what it even needs to function properly, so that you have the amino acids that you need, and that you have the protein, and your body can just like digest things, the food as well as the world, in a better way. All right, so I will cover my writing prompts, and I'll cover my writing prompts. So it says, writing prompt number 1, what are my responsibilities, and what are my responsibilities? So think about it this month. What responsibilities do you have, and how can you keep your responsibilities, like your work and your life, in balance? Next is, how can I serve my community better? What ways can you show up in the world that is beneficial to others through your belief systems? Then, what am I holding on to, and how can I pass it? And who can I pass it to? So this month you might be realizing that it's time to delegate. You could be holding on to things. Your scale might be full, and you really need assistance balancing out your workload and your responsibilities. This could be a really good month to get additional help. Next is, what message does Spirit continue to give me? Continue contemplating on any messages or downloads that you've received over the last few months. You might be seeing here that it's time to reassess, or go back to that information, or go back to that thought and think a little deeper on it. Let's see. And then for a little Easter egg, that's related to gate 17. This is an edited transmission from the gene keys that I wrote down. But I really love this message, and I think it's a great way to wrap up this video. And this is from Richard Rudd Gene Keys. It says, everything that happens follows the plan, and the plan is both perfect and predetermined and created. Wherever omniscience is seen, it is perfect. When you are denial or when you come out of denial. Consciousness must express all opinions through form. God can only come when you are not there. So that is a reminder to understand your humanness, see your humanness, and know that we all go through suffering. We all go through experiences that we may not understand, or we feel like we don't have control over, but know that it's all part of the plan. Like, our lives are the story. So I know that sometimes, like, if you're a sitcom buff like me, you'll watch a story and it ends in 30 minutes. Well, life is like that. It just doesn't end in 30 minutes. But it's the same story. It's a plot. There's ups and downs. There's great experiences and moments. There's horrible experiences and moments, but understand it's all part of the plan. And the more we can operate in that truth and create the perfection that we want to see through our actions, through our judgments, and the life we live, we can move into a space of happiness and fulfillment. Because again, our judgments are rooted in our dissatisfaction. So it's really just kind of like a magnifying glass on what we need to change, and then we can make those changes. And everyone's life is different. So what may work for you may not work for somebody else. But it's important to be aware of that and move from a place of, I can hold a judgment, but I don't have to view anyone else as superior or inferior to me because of the judgment, because as mentioned, all of it is part of the plan. So this is a recap for the full moon in Libra. I hope this video helps. I am going to watch it back real quick just to make sure this is all good to post. But yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. I already have the new moon in Aries video up, so if you guys want to check that out, you can, which is the most recent transit. And yeah, also, if you love human design and you love learning about the transits as they're happening or after they're happening, because sometimes I'll be posting late, but what is really late, because everything's part of the plan, right? So yeah, you can check that out also on my channel. I cover all the human design rave lines as well as the Chinese I Ching lines for the hexagrams. So know that the gates, human design gates, the gene keys, and the I Ching is the same 64 hexagrams originally from the I Ching. So if you ever want to look at that information, it is up on my channel, as well as all my other offerings like my Apothecary. I have sea moss, which is another supplement that is really, really great if you are looking to detoxify the body as well as bring it into balance so you can be of optimal health. I highly recommend checking out my sea moss shop, Cole Apothecary. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. I don't want to like keep selling to you, but you know, just want to make sure you know of all the things available to you and you can take part of whatever. And I love you guys. Peace.